Kaylin hummed softly as she stirred the pot on her small cooking unit. The aroma of garlic, onions, and simmering tomatoes filled her modest quarters on Station Theta 7. She had traded 3 weeks of overtime for these precious ingredients, shipped all the way from Earth. Tonight, she was making her grandmother's pasta sauce, and nothing in the galaxy could stop her. The station's other residents relied on nutrient paste dispensers. Efficient, perfectly balanced, and utterly joyless. Kaylin had tried it once and decided she would rather work double shifts than give up real food. Cooking was not just sustenance. It was memory, comfort, and home. She added fresh basil to the sauce and inhaled deeply. Perfect. What Kaylin did not know was that her ventilation system connected directly to the station's juvenile residential sector. What she also did not know was that alien cubs, despite their many differences, shared one universal trait with human children. They were always hungry, and they had excellent noses. The first knock was gentle. Curious, Kaylin wiped her hands on her apron and opened the door. A small Vrixian cub stood there, barely reaching her waist. Its fur was soft gray, and its large eyes blinked up at her with innocent wonder. "Hello there," Kaylin said, crouching down. "Are you lost?" The cub did not answer. It simply sniffed the air, and its ear flaps quivered with excitement. Before Kaylin could say anything else, 2 more cubs appeared. Then 5. Then a dozen. They came from every direction, emerging from corridors like a furry, scaled, and feathered tide. Some walked on 2 legs, some on 4, some slithered, and one simply floated. Within minutes, Kaylin's doorway was blocked by at least 100 alien cubs, all staring at her with the same desperate longing. At the front of this improbable crowd stood Vash, a young Karathi with deep blue scales and ridge-lined cheeks. He was clearly the oldest among them, perhaps the equivalent of a human 12-year-old. He stepped forward and spoke in careful, accented standard. "Human Kaylin," Vash said formally, "what is that smell?" Kaylin blinked. "It's dinner. I'm cooking pasta." A ripple of confusion passed through the crowd. Several cubs tilted their heads. One whispered to another in a clicking language. "Cooking," Vash repeated. "You mean you are preparing biological matter for consumption using thermal and chemical processes?" Yes. Exactly that. But why?" Vash's confusion was genuine. The nutrient dispensers provide all required sustenance. Cooking is inefficient. It wastes time and energy. Kaylin looked at the 100 pairs of eyes watching her. Hungry eyes. Not for calories or nutrients, but for something else. Something they did not even have words for yet. She smiled. "Come inside. All of you." It took some creative arranging, but Kaylin managed to fit most of the cubs into her quarters. The rest spilled into the corridor, sitting in neat rows. Vash stayed close to Kaylin, translating when needed and keeping the younger cubs calm. Kaylin ladled her pasta sauce into every container she owned, then sent Vash to borrow more from neighboring quarters. She boiled noodles in shifts, using every pot and pan she had. The cubs waited with surprising patience, watching her every move as if she were performing magic. When the first bowls were ready, Kaylin handed them out. She showed the cubs how to twirl the noodles on their forks, though many species struggled with the concept. Some simply picked up the pasta with their claws or tentacles. One cub tried to absorb it through osmosis before Vash gently corrected them. The first bite brought silence. Then, slowly, sounds of wonder filled the room. Purring, chirping, humming, and soft clicks of contentment. A tiny Zelenka cub began to cry, not from sadness, but from something it could not name. An older cub patted its head gently. "This is food," Vash asked quietly, staring at his bowl as if it held the secrets of the universe. "This is food," Kaylin confirmed. "But it is not efficient." "No, it's not. It required significant time and effort." "Yes, it did." Vash looked up at her, his young face struggling with a concept his species had abandoned generations ago. "Then why do you make it?" Kaylin sat down among the cubs, her own bowl in her lap. "Because food is not just fuel, Vash. It's love. It's memory. It's care. When I make this sauce, I remember my grandmother teaching me in her kitchen. I remember her hands, her laugh, the way she hummed while she cooked. She made this for me because she loved me. And now I make it because it makes me feel close to her, even though she is gone." Vash absorbed this in silence. Around them, cubs continued eating, savoring each bite with the reverence of a religious experience. We do not have this, Vash said finally. Our parents provide us with nutrient paste. It is sufficient. Sufficient is not the same as good, Kaelin said gently. The meal lasted hours. Kaelin kept cooking until every cub had eaten their fill. Some asked for seconds. A few fell asleep in corners, their bellies full and their hearts fuller. Vash helped organize the cleanup, directing the older cubs with natural authority. When the adult aliens finally arrived, summoned by the station's confused security system, they found a scene that defied explanation. 100 cubs, fed and content, sitting peacefully in and around a human's quarters. Many were still licking their bowls. The Karathi elder, Vash's grandparent, stepped forward. What happened here? Kaelin stood, suddenly aware that she might be in trouble. I cooked dinner. The cubs were hungry. They have nutrient dispensers. They were hungry for more than nutrients. The elder looked at Vash, who stood protectively near Kaelin. Is this true, young one? Vash nodded. The human fed us, elder. Not just our bodies. She fed something else. Something we did not know we were missing. The elder's expression was unreadable. Then, slowly, they approached Kaelin's cooking pot and inhaled. Their scales rippled, a sign of deep emotion among Karathi. My ancestor, the elder said quietly, for generations back, used to prepare food by hand. I thought that knowledge was lost. It doesn't have to be, Kaelin said. The elder looked at the cubs, then back at Kaelin. Would you teach them? Would you teach us? Kaelin smiled. I would be honored. From that night forward, Kaelin's quarters became the heart of Station Theta 7. She taught cubs and adults alike the art of cooking, the joy of sharing meals, the comfort of food made with care. The station installed a proper kitchen for her, and her cooking classes became the most popular activity on Theta 7. Vash became her assistant, learning recipes and techniques with fierce dedication. He would eventually bring these lessons back to his homeworld, sparking a culinary renaissance among the Karathi, but that was years away. For now, Kaelin simply cooked, and the cubs simply came, drawn by the smell of something their species had forgotten, but their hearts still remembered: love, served one meal at a time.